Hey guys, welcome to Wrong Cup by Rohan. You know those days when you get back home from work, but instead of going to the gym, you sit back and binge the fuck out of Netflix? Or end up playing 3 games of FIFA when you promise yourself that you'll read a book instead? That's why today I want to talk about self-control and how conventional wisdom has got it all wrong. Self-control implies using willpower. So after a long day of, say, going to work or university, writing your thesis or your quarterly deadline, and deciding what to eat for lunch tomorrow, we find ourselves in a state called ego depletion, where we don't have any more energy to make good decisions. For example, when I go to the grocery store without a grocery list, I make a ton of decisions of what to buy, what to cook, etc. And after creating a certain amount of decision fatigue, I then find myself picking that big bar of Snickers at the cash counter. What happened there? This study shows that ego depletion undermines inhibition, both because restraints are weaker and because urges are felt more intensely than usual. Therefore, I give in to my urges for Snickers at the end of my grocery store journey. People that report high amounts of self-control according to this study actually limit exposure to willpower using events. And according to a study covering 159 students, we find that the successful students were not the ones that relied on brute willpower, but the ones that planned their day to avoid temptation. And that's why I bring in environment design. Some people I truly love from the bottom of my heart asked me what to do about all the regular drinking they've been engaging in because of lockdown and having nothing to do. Instead of telling the person to get some willpower because they've been working all week and have probably made so many professional decisions, I'm sure they're pretty ego depleted. Instead, you have to know that the human body is made up of 11 million sensory receptors, with 10 million of them being dedicated to sight. Some studies estimate that half the brain's resources are used for vision. Given that estimate, I think we rely on vision more than any other sensory ability. For this reason, as James Clear puts it, a small change in what we see can have a big change in what we do. Therefore, designing our environment to suit our goals, desires, and aspirations is of utmost importance. I employ the habit cycle according to him, that every habit has a cue, craving, response, and reward. The cue is seeing the beer in the fridge or the whiskey on the table. The craving is wanting the easygoing state that you enter after a couple of drinks. The response is opening the fridge and grabbing the beer or making a drink. And the reward is the feeling of looseness and intoxication, which is honestly fun. So instead, I would change the environment and delete the cue. What I mean is, firstly, I could not buy the alcohol from the grocery store and keep it at home. Or I could follow the law of least effort that dictates that humans tend to make those choices that have the least effort involved. Therefore, if it's a beer, don't store it in the fridge. Instead, store it in a cupboard where it isn't chilled because only psychopaths drink warm beer. Or keep the visual cue of alcohol absent by storing it in some cupboard at the back. What this does is, firstly, the cue is absent. Secondly, also if you do want to drink, you have to go through a considerable amount of effort to chill your beer or take the whiskey out of the back of the cupboard before making that drink, which goes against the law of least effort. You can do this with cookies and cigarettes as well by placing them in inaccessible places. The absence of the cue will no longer trigger the habit in the first place. And for future videos where I will be talking about habit formation and adoption in general, a good rule of thumb is it's very hard to change or adopt new habits when all habit cues are constantly reminding you of your previous self. So be it wanting to eat healthy, establishing a regular meditation practice, or spending more time with your partner instead of your phone, there's always a way to maximize your life without having to employ willpower. If you need any more tips, comment below regarding how you want to stop playing too much FIFA, stop talking on the phone too much, or anything else that bothers you. Your public comments and my replies will help others. Otherwise, if you're not ready to share with the world, just DM me. I hope this was helpful and thank you for all your support. Anyhow, I'll see you on the other side. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.